You touched on work experience earlier, and one stat from your book which surprised me was that a survey said that 70% of people in TV had relied on contacts to hear about their most recent job.
Yes, I wrote that was in my How to Get a Job in Television. I wrote that in 2008. It came out in 2009. Whether the statistics are still current is another thing. I suspect that things might have changed slightly with the advent of the internet and Twitter and Facebook and people advertising on social media. I think it's a little bit more transparent than it might have been 10 or 20 years ago in terms of opportunities. But the fact is, most jobs are never advertised. It does come down to who you know. It does come down to having a lucky break. Now, it might be that you know someone, by a completely fateful coincidence. I did meet somebody who worked in TV, but even she was struggling to get in. But it's how you make that opportunity work for you. And also, I've had friends of friends of friends contact me, and I've met with them. So, you can find your way without knowing somebody, but obviously it does help if you do, to make that first step.
And is Twitter now one of the, or as a medium, a useful one that people use to try and get in touch with yourself and your colleagues? Is it a way that people can use it to try and get work experience in that initial situation?
Speaking for myself, most people tend to email me at the BBC or on my personal email address. I do have a Twitter account, and I do have followers on that. And I used to, when I worked as a freelance talent manager at various indies, I used to use it to advertise vacancies. I don't tend to so much because the BBC has its own platforms. It has the BBC Careers website. It has the production talent pool, and if you're in that pool, then vacancies are tweeted using Facebook for vacancies. So I tend just to advertise or not advertise. I tend to use emails, and that's the best way of contacting me. But yeah, my colleagues at various indies, they do use social media and on popular free groups on Facebook.
How important then is work experience in getting into TV? Is it a complete prerequisite for getting an initial job?
I would say it's pretty essential, but not because it's something you need to do. I just think it has a whole range of benefits. When you go to do work experience at a company, you might be doing, you're getting exposure to the production teams and the producers and the executives at the company, and that's your way to impress them, to network, to find out who's who, and to observe, what they're making, how they work, and to create a good impression. So when they're looking for a runner or a paid opportunity comes up, that they know who you are, because they're not going to give a break to someone that they don't know. And they're going to want a sense that you're going to hit the ground running if you're given the opportunity. So, it's a good way of going into different companies and meeting and working alongside researchers and producers, and they then will become your network. And through them you might hear of other job opportunities at other indies, or if you've done well and they're pleased with you, they might recommend you to their friends. And most people in TV are freelance and they move around. So even if you went to one indie and you're working with a group of researchers and APs, they might recommend you to others. So it's a really good way of creating, making your own contacts and creating a network, as well as learning how TV works and what different companies are like, because different companies have different personalities almost. They have different flavors. They make, depending on the type of programs they make, they'll have a completely different ethos or management style. So it's a good way of finding out what environment suits you and where you might best want to spend your time.